Okay. Our next issue that we're going to talk about is education. And there is an education crisis in the United States. Some young people are not able to read, not able to study, and there's a problem of education. What are some of the solutions nationally that you see for education? Philip?
In the dream world, and she just talked about her dream world. In my dream world, we're all free. We have a tiny little government that just defends the country, and that's it. And because we all have so much more money, vastly much more money, because we're not spending half our money just being burned up in bureaucracies and wars, then we could all either educate our own children with our own money, sending them to private school, or we could when we die, we could give to charities that would pay for people's tuitions, or we could take care of other members of our family or our community who couldn't afford to go to private school. And so the public school system would be abolished. Everybody would go to private schools, and the parents who are responsible for their children would have the economic means to do that, and they wouldn't have to work so hard, spending half of their year, working for the government. One of them could stop working and also take care of their kids.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
The crisis in healthcare can be, I think...
education.
Oh, education, excuse me. We were just in healthcare.
So we're skipping over.
A good example of it is in the Los Angeles Unified School District, which is the largest school district in the United States. 50% of the students who enter the 8th grade never make it to the 12th grade. 60 and 70% of those students who happen to be perhaps Latino or African American never make it to the 12th grade. At the same time that is happening, this is happening all over the country, but I use LA, China and India, where 1/3 of the planet presently resides, is graduating every year over 1 million scientists, technicians, engineers, all of whom speak English. We are now in a global economy. Friedman calls it the world is flat. How is Silicon Valley going to create the jobs necessary? They're going to need to have people from China and India taking jobs, because we are failing the youth of our country with the government schools. We need charter schools. We need more private schools. We need vouchers so that a parent has a choice with their child to go to a better school. The teachers union, the California Teachers Union in particular, have virtually destroyed education in this state.
Okay, thank you. Chrissy?
Well, I think that there's a...
Yeah,
I do not agree with anything. I think that there's a strategy inside this country to destroy the unions, destroy the American working class, to outsource all the jobs. Why would you pay somebody in Silicon Valley, $98,000 a year in benefits when you can pay somebody in India $29,000? I think they want all the workers working for $10 an hour or less. They have dumbed down the American people by providing the most hideous kind of education. I know my child's in public school. It's a terrible situation. It's much worse education than when we went to school. We were much better educated through the public school system than the children are educated right now. There's not one child left behind. In my opinion, is the new draft. You get the kids demoralized. You get them without a high school education. They have nowhere to go afterwards, and they can pull them into the military immediately. But this is a strategy. This is our federal government not providing an education so that they can get away without having to have a draft, because they know as soon as the death of the Republican Party is to put in a draft. As soon as they put in a draft, that's the end of them, and they will be able to take these kids and scarf them up as they roam around at 17, 18 years old without a high school diploma. I think it's unconscionable what has happened to the education inside this country.